Listen up, cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
With Rooster and
the Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution,
and morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
So sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine.
Welcome back, cluckheads.
You know who we are.
You know what we do.
Current events,
Common sense.
Constitution, and morals. They're in there. She's not here.
She's not here, so we're still free range.
But
So
anyway, so
instead of the joke that we normally get caught in the middle of, I thought I would.
That and because the fact that apparently it was in bad taste because it involved an Amber Alert.
No, it didn't. But there was a child involved in this one. So I might be at a sporting goods store. I'm not going to say why I was there. I was just, minding my own business, doing my thing. And there was a grandma recording her what looked like between the age of 4 and 6-year-old grandsons.
Hold on a second before we go any further. We literally have this douchey McBaggins drummer next door that is playing so loud that it's bleeding through like 3 walls. So
yeah, we tried to compromise and try to work a compromise.
Try to work a ceasefire
on recording time here, and he
pretty much just said, "Nah, that's not going to work for me, bro."
Yeah, that's the part of the problem when you rent a shared studio space.
Yeah, so. But anyway, so if you hear any weird drums or any type of weirdness in the background, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because he's literally, it sounds like he's trying to puncture his snare drum through my head, through the wall.
Yeah, and this is less than 5 minutes after we went and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, man, is there any way you could, give it a pause?"
He's intentionally doing it now just to be a cluck.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, so these kids, sweet grandma's recording her 4 to 6-year-old engaging children playing basketball inside the sporting goods store, which you're not really supposed to do. And you can only take so much before you kind of lose it. But I thought I was pretty slick the way I did it is, so this kid's like, "Watch me," and he goes to he's going to run and dunk, and he makes his shot, and he's the older one. He's like maybe up to 6. He takes that shot, and he does a jump, and I go sprinting over, and I stuffed that kid like you wouldn't believe.
Like the Kimbe Mutombo?
Yeah, and I went, "Defense!" And then I just walked off.
That is freaking awesome, Rooster. That is awesome sauce, Rooster.
Yeah, it's like, not in my house, buddy.
Well, I had something funny happen this week, too.
What's that?
No, this is for real. This isn't me just jacking around this time.
Yeah.
So, my stove caught on fire, and it was involving the thermostat and the brain unit. So it wasn't like it was a quick fix.
Yeah.
Like it caught on fire, had that horrible electrical smell.
Oh yes.
All that type of stuff. Well, get a hold of the maintenance and all that stuff, and they are going to have to come in and replace the entire stove. Now, I'm sure that for people that have listened for a while, they've heard of me talk about Blythe, my service animal.
Yeah.
Or she's getting trained to be a service animal. And that she's come to a few recordings. There was the one where that she passed out on the floor and started snoring.
Rough day.
It was a long pupper day.
Yeah.
But anyway, they come in, they install the new stove. The new stove is black. The previous one was white. Now, my other dog, Molly, she was just like, "Cool, that's where the food comes from. Don't care." Then there's Blythe, who would look at it from around the corner and almost do a cartoon-style woof, just staring at it, just woof. She had to run through the kitchen to get to her water bowl. She side-eyed it the entire time. We get 2 drinks, run off, look around the corner. Woof. Well, then I fell asleep on the couch. And I have no idea what this cursed object did. But all of a sudden, out of a dead sleep, she starts howling and launches herself off of my chest into the kitchen, and then realized, holy crap, I'm in the kitchen with the thing. And then ran around the corner and just stuck her head around and just looked at it and looked at me like, Dad. You see this, right? You see this? I'm sorry I fell asleep. I thought it would be gone by now. You see this, right? So anyway, it's been 2 days now since that happened. 3 days. She still does not like the new stove.
No, it's dangerous. It's new.
It's a cursed object, apparently.
Yeah, it's a cursed object.
It's got. I'm sure that if I took it apart, I'd find like some type of weird.
Yeah, but dogs are funny like that. Dogs and children. This is why they can't vote because they're technically Democrats.
Wow, he's getting after it over there now.
Yeah, he is. So, but because they don't have jobs, they don't pay taxes.
No, they just live off other people.
Live off other people.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, can't survive without someone else feeding them.
Oh, heaven forbid if if this was still like the medieval ages where that dogs were like out in the wild or like back in the day when they first started domesticating. There is no way my dog would make it because she would have to go for longer than about 3 minutes without coming over and putting her head on you just so that you'd remember I'm still in the room.
Yeah, my dog can't seem to, it wants to do your attention, so it literally stands on your shoulders like I can't get any more in your face than I already am, but I'm just going to keep trying.
Yeah, like, hey,
I'm just going to stand there. I'm just going to stand there and look around at nothing. And,
yeah.
But
anyway, dogs are funny. I love them, though.
Yeah. Everybody's got a good dog. So.
Anyway, so you got us the drinks this week. What'd you grab us?
So this one just kind of called my name. I really saw it, just saw the can. I thought I'd like it. And of course, the first thing that popped in my mind is called, it's Oak Highlands Brewery. It's called Golden Mustache German Lager. I'm always down for a German lager.
So is a Golden Mustache if, you're performing an act on a blonde lady that...
I was really just thinking more like, who wants a mustache ride? I do. For Super Troopers, it's...
I guess I took a step. I'm sure if Morals was here, that'd probably be like that.
Yeah, well, if you do have a great mustache, giftedchicken.com has a mustache wax that would be great for that to get that big handlebar.
It has a mustache wax.
Mustache wax.
It's a mustache wax.
Excuse me. I grew up in East Plano, so... a little bit of an accent, I guess.
Mustache.
Mustache. But yeah, it's great. It's called Roost Bar. Because, hens need a place to roost. That part's not a joke. It really is called Roost Bar. It's a great mustache.
I don't doubt that that's
shameless plug.
I don't doubt that's what it's called. But.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Oak Highland Brewery.
Yeah.
That's here in Dallas, right?
It's here in Dallas, yes. It's made right here in Dallas. It's 5.5% alcohol. It's got a cool mustache logo on it. Like I said, all I was thinking was, who wants a mustache ride? I do. I was like, hey, you know what? Let's do it.
Me too.
Yeah. But because
it's Golden Mustache. It's a German lager.
Yeah.
So it's 5.5%. So it's a little bit lower, but it's 26 IBUs. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And that kind of borderlines into that pale ale territory.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
not an expert. We need Morals to bring her Honky Tonk Association.
Her American Honky Tonk Bar Association.
But she's failed us today.
Originally brewed for the hardworking people of the Ruhr district in the Westphalia region of Germany, a Dortmunder is a full-bodied, moderately hopped. Okay, so that's probably where the moderately hopped and slightly more alcoholic answer to the Bohemian Pilsner in Munich Helles style. Crisp and clean with the perfect balance of hop bitterness and malt sweetness. So I'm guessing that means that it's somewhere in between.
I guess, yeah. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, so it's a cool can.
I just kind of figured that if they
caught my eye.
You know what? I'm gonna wait for my assessment.
All right.
Let's go ahead and do the crack.
Cracking it open.
Nice sound.
Yeah.
Do the Sleepy Joe Biden sniff test. Pretend that this is
smells like good beer.
Pretend that it's not a mustache I'm sniffing.
Yeah, smells like good beer.
Yeah, that definitely smells
good.
like it.
Yeah, good smell.
That smells like a 9-year-old, but I mean, she could easily pass for an 18-year-old.
That's a quote from the President of the United States, so don't make it creepy. I wish I was lying about that one. A quote from the President of the United States.
I wish you were too, but you're not. Oh, hey, we had a break for a second. Then
he got tired.
He came back like Tommy Lee over here.
Yeah.
So anyway, tell you what. Before we take our first sip, let's go ahead and get our cluckage, clinkage going on.
Oh, got stuck on the cord there. Clink.
Interesting.
So,
I can taste the malt. In all fairness, I can taste the maltiness that they're talking about.
yeah, it's a good beer. It's
but I don't think that it's. Whenever I see lager,
not a German lager.
It's not a German.
Not
This is like an IPA light or something.
Yeah, this comes off as one of those British IPAs.
Yeah, not like a true India Pale Ale, but like yeah. All right. Well, tell you what. We can get into this first topic that we got going on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to start or you want me to?
Yeah, well, I'll let you start. You always seem to start on.
Well, then
topic
you
number
started.
one. Okay.
No.
Am I ready? Okay.
No, I didn't start it yet.
Ah, dang it.
Okay, it started now. Why aren't you going?
So, of all the arrests ever made, this is the best arrest ever.
This is the greatest,
It's the greatest
arrest in the history of arrests.
and the first one of a president.
That is also true.
Yeah, so Trump is
Wait a minute.
indicted.
First one so far.
Yeah, Trump has been indicted on 37 new counts, but not to stem like the one from New York. This is federal stuff going back to that whole top secret documents found in Mar-a-Lago in Florida. So he had to go to Miami.
That they raided his house in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they
he wasn't
raided
there.
that, and so they found.
Went through his son's room, went through his wife's clothes.
Yes, sniffed her underwear or whatever. I don't know what they were trying to find with that, but each their own, right? I didn't realize the Overlord was on that that raid team, but
Hey,
yeah. So, anyways,
they needed at least one good hand.
yeah. So he got his indictments. It's stemming from the Espionage Act to obstruction of justice, false statements being made, things like that. The thing that really makes it weird on this one is not only because it's the first president to be indicted for something like this, is that factually every president since the Espionage Act has had confidential information.
And fun fact with that is that a president can have classified information. Correct. That being said, I really don't think they want to go through with this.
No, it's a weird one.
Now, before we go into that, even I want to point out that this is not a non-biased thing. This is 100% biased, simply because the fact that the person that is doing all this was appointed by Merrick Garland, who was appointed by Biden, and she ran her entire thing saying
Merrick's, I think they're he's. I think they're he's.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought the other one was a she.
I don't know, man. Pronouns get confusing anymore.
Anyway, they ran their entire thing saying that, quoted on video, "I'm going to see Trump hang for this. I'm going to get him arrested."
Yeah,
so they're already going into this completely biased, which in the court of law, I mean, even like whenever we knew OJ did it.
Yeah.
In the court of law, it's supposed to be non-biased.
Well, you know how they know OJ didn't do it, right? They found a Super Bowl ring at the crime scene.
That is true. But I mean, I really don't think they want to go through with this because that's going to open up a world of hurt for everybody else.
Well, it does, and that's the precedent is, you have things that are very similar. The Clinton email thing with all the classified information using a private server for government classified information, which was highly illegal. But she did it. She not only did it, she deleted those emails, used that Bleach app or whatever that thing is, the software.
Talking about with Clinton?
Yeah, so Hillary Clinton, that is.
With Hillary Clinton, she used the Bleach Bit app to delete all the emails and like all the traces of it on the server.
But then took it a step further.
But then she also deleted 33,000 emails and then took the step further and she used magnets and hammers to destroy all the evidence.
She destroyed servers, cell phones,
and that
anything and everything.
While it was under subpoena, which
Correct.
is against the law.
But no charges filed.
No charges filed.
Yeah, and then you have
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence, vice president under Trump.
He had classified documents, and guess what? The vice president isn't supposed to have classified documents
it's
outside
not in
of
the charter
room
where they can have those.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Which opens up another can of worms because Biden, as vice president, did the exact same thing.
And did it as a senator before he was vice president.
So the problem with this is that they spent now going on 2 years of just trying to anti-Trump this entire administration.
Yeah. Well,
and if the House ever flips, they're going to do the same thing to Biden.
Exactly. I mean, that's where the dangerous precedent comes. Plus, this all comes on the tails of the Durham report. If you remember, we talked about that. And the Durham report was a special investigator that was set outside of the parties. that found that, yes, the Department of Justice and the FBI and the CIA have collaborated for political gains.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's the weaponization and the political weaponization of the Department of Justice and FBI.
It's a very dangerous precedent. And again, to your point,
Now, that being
whenever
said,
this flips, if it ever flips,
yeah,
if we
They're
ever
gonna
see
go
another
after-
Republican in charge again, or the Congress and Senate flip, it's tit for tat on that one.
and
Don't get excited on that one, Overlord.
yeah, wrong kind of tit for tat.
It's a saying.
But the what, oh, timer just went off. I will refrain from what I was going to say. My God, this dude is annoying.
Yeah, he's got some stamina.
This guy is just straight up.
Well, let's
annoying.
hope this episode's actually salvageable when it's all said and done.
I'm hoping that it is.
Yeah.
I'm looking over at the recording stuff, and
So,
it's not looking.
Any
good.
more comment on the beer?
It's growing on me. Just
It's a good beer.
it's a good beer, but it's not what I was thinking.
The label's deceiving.
Yeah, if they would have said like a light IPA or something.
Yeah.
I'll wait until we get through to the end.
Yeah. So, but again, it's a good beer. So, topic number 2.
But I mean, it's a good beer.
Yeah.
It's and it's a cool name. So,
Yeah.
so far I'm not displeased with it.
No.
I was expecting.
And the
something different.
money was not ridiculous on it either. I think I paid $23 with tax for a 12-pack.
So craft beer, like local,
Yeah,
$23.
you're
That's
doing
not
it.
bad.
Now, the sad part was it goody where I bought it. It was on the floor in the cooler, so it was bottom shelf of the craft beer.
Okay.
I don't know if that's just because they don't have a place to put it, or if it was,
Well,
a sign of.
I'll give you a hint. There's 3 places. All right. So topic number 2. You want me to start this one, or you want to
No,
start?
you go, man. I started the last one.
All right. Timer started now. So I don't know if you heard about FD 1023.
Sounds.
But we are in congressional hearings over FD 1023. Now, for people that don't know what that is, a reliable, meaning that they have used this person, and they said this under oath, they have used this person many times, confidential informant, presented 17 phone recordings of Hunter and the President Biden receiving phone calls from Burisma and taking bribes.
What? It's weird because Biden claimed the entire time, and every time he's been asked, that he doesn't even know what Hunter did for Burisma.
Well, he also came out saying that he didn't know.
Even though there was a photo of him playing golf with the CEO
that's
of
what I was
Burisma
about to say.
and
He also
Hunter,
said that he didn't know anybody at Burisma.
Which we saw photos.
We saw photos and videos of him playing golf and going
then there
around.
was the interview about how he told the Ukrainian prosecution, if you don't fire that, or the government, if you don't fire that, when he was vice president, that is. He tells a story as he's running for president that he told the Ukrainian government that if they didn't fire the prosecutor looking at his son, that he would withhold money and military aid to the Ukrainians for defense against Russia. Not anything to do with the current war, but.
So, in one of the 17 recordings, they blatantly say the $10 million, $5 million for the big guy, and $5 million for Hunter.
Yeah.
So that is a bribe, which is illegal. So they had Deputy Director Wallace.
But who's the big guy? I mean, you don't know. It could be like the Kingpin from Marvel.
Could be Corn Pop.
Yeah, it could be Corn Pop. Because he's a
know,
bad dude.
You know what? I bet this is all Corn Pop.
It's Corn Pop. He's a bad dude.
I bet that this is all an elaborate scheme set up by Corn Pop. He's been playing the long game to get back at Biden.
I wonder why Corn Pop hates Biden so much. It's because he wouldn't let him rub his legs in the pool, or
run his fingers in hairy legs. Maybe he made a comment saying that he didn't smell as good as the pretty little girls. But
that might be what it is.
But anyway, so Wallace goes under oath in this congressional hearing, He refuses to answer some of the questions to the Senate Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
He keeps saying, well, I'll have to get back with you on that.
Yeah,
And then they would ask him a question, will you provide this? He goes, we'll provide you with everything that we can. He goes, no, I'm asking you if you can provide us with these documents and this phone call. I'll provide you with whatever I can. Will you provide us with this? Yes or no? I'll provide you with what we can. He's like, you're not answering yes or no.
The guy is destined to be a politician for his non-answers.
Yeah. And the whole thing is that people, not just the left, not just the right, the majority of the American people have lost trust in the FBI. They've lost trust in the CIA. They lost trust in the NSA. They lost trust in the ATF. And we've completely lost trust in all of our politicians. And we know that the media, whether it's Fox or CNN, is completely biased. You can't get real news anymore.
They're all controlled by one party or the other.
Yeah, or George Soros.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, George Soros is just going to be on the left because, but anyways, yeah. So there's nothing truly fair and balanced. There's nothing truly unbiased. The Durham report shows us exactly why people distrust all of those government agencies.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's out there. I know we come off sounding like a lot of conservatives, but we kind of fall more in that libertarian part of, I just want less government.
Yeah,
which is a very conservative thing to say, but tell me when giving the government more power has been great for us.
One of the things I was going to say on the previous topic was that if Trump did the crime, he deserves the time.
Go
flat. I mean, if he's found guilty beyond the shadow of a doubt, he deserves to go to jail. But that also proves with Biden that also.
You have to do the rest. You can't just say one guy is it, and then it's not the goose the gander thing. You can't just do it for one and then not do it for the rest. Because that becomes favoritism.
I know we're on a different topic, so whenever I'm saying this, I'm not addressing this towards the classified documents. This was a bribe.
Oh yeah.
This is against the law. And then he used a quid pro quo with that. If you're not getting this, then I'm not going to give you.
Which is just extortion.
Which is extortion.
Yeah.
Yep, you're absolutely. Oh, timer just went off.
That's on fire, guy.
I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah. So.
But anyway, so I mean, it's just it's absolutely ridiculous. So what are your thoughts on this?
The more I drink it, the more I like it. Initial reaction, not a German lager.
It is not a German lager.
Initial reaction is not a German lager. Maybe there's a little corner in a village somewhere that we've not been to that this is a traditional German lager. I'm going to say it's not. Yeah.
If they would have labeled this
as beer.
It's a great beer. It's just that it's not a German lager. It's an IPA.
Yeah. Just I'd have been happy if they just called it a Texas IPA.
Yeah.
Because of our German and Czech roots here in Texas and things like that. I mean,
I've got like deep German roots. My family, they were a part of the Vikings that went down into Germania and they settled in the coastlands and in the river valleys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were the Germans that even Hitler hated because we weren't blonde hair and blue eyed. But that being said, it's just not a German lager.
Well, no. Both great grandparents on both my maternal and fraternal side were German immigrants, so they spoke German as a first language in their house, and so beer is a regular topic, kind of a thing. But
my grandmother's maiden name, was Huntsberger.
No, yeah, it
don't get much more German than that.
We had a Kurtenbach.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Showed up to a funeral once, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you look just like great grandpa."
I always loved it when my grandma would be in the kitchen and we'd be outside playing, and she would scream from the kitchen that "I love you," but she would yell it in German, so it sounded angry and confusing at the same time. Ich liebe dich.
Everything in German sounds crazy. Just the word hospital, Krankenhaus. Quick, call a Krankenwagen.
Call the Krankenwagen. But anyway, it's just, especially with the German heritage and the I come from primarily a German and French heritage.
Well, see, all mine is German and English, so they just pretty much both sides of myself just hate each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't play soccer for flip.
Yeah. I guess the German side of me. I mean, you got to be good at two things. You got to be good at fighting, and you got to be good at drinking.
Yeah.
So I mean, I
got the drinking part.
I got that down. So
I've been in a few fights too.
But
maybe I should have been Irish.
but
Maybe
no,
that's what the Irish people really are. Maybe they're just German and English combined and just on a little island out there.
I was kind of
I've
always kind of wondered, what was God thinking? He's like talking to one of the angels. Okay, I want you to create an island right here. Done. Okay, now I want you to put 3 cultures on it. Done. Now I want you to make them all hate each other. Wait, what?
Yeah. No.
All hate each other.
All hate each other. They're all going to look alike.
I don't think that's a good idea, God. Do you want to go down? Because do I need to pull up what happened to Lucifer? Because
I don't want to make them dress alike. I want to make them look alike, sort of talk alike.
But I want them to.
But I want to be completely different from each other.
We can give them different accents.
There you go.
But they all hate each other.
Yeah. And they all love the F word.
And whenever I say I want it on this island, I want it to be like you could fit like 9 of them inside the state of Texas. Top small.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what time it is?
It's time for the big FU. FU stands for follow up when morals is here.
But it doesn't stand for follow up now.
Does not.
It doesn't. It's clucking madness.
So in the follow ups, we have a great mini topics. See what I did right there? Mini topics.
Yeah. See what you did there.
Yeah. It's one of those double and testicle things.
Oh, I thought that Overlord signed up for one of those like Facebook ad things for that.
Like, he might
like
have.
the Blue Chews or something.
Oh, I think that was the little pills, but
Hims.
Yeah, that was it. Hims.
That was the one that he signed up for.
Yeah. He should be getting his order in bulk pretty soon.
Yeah.
So
should be.
Yeah. So the first one we've got coming up is we've been talking about Europe, so let's pick on France now. We talk about Germany and England and all that kind of stuff.
So before we pick on France.
Not really France specific, but
if
part
you look,
of it. Something
we always
do.
give France a hard time because the way they back down and like pretty much everything since Napoleon, they just roll over. But if you take the history of France up until the defeat of Napoleon, they were a powerhouse.
Oh yeah.
But then it's like since then they decided to trade in their testicles for white flags.
Yeah, I mean they've had a couple of bad raps. I still like the French. They're our oldest ally. So I mean
they are our oldest ally.
We don't want to ever stab them in the back on that one. And they had a couple of bad decision-making policies and a couple of wars
for about 140 years.
But I mean, think about it. I mean, we wouldn't be a free nation if it wasn't for the French. So we wouldn't have the Statue of Liberty if it wasn't for them.
The baguettes.
Yeah, we wouldn't have
the
French
burgers.
fries and burgers. I don't know about that last stuff, but no.
But according to Inspector Clouseau from the Pink Panther biography,
they have the burger.
The burger.
But no, so Le Mans is a tradition in France, and that's their big European race. Everybody loves Le Mans. They do their thing out there, and they've always mocked NASCAR in American racing because they're like, it's not real racing. Oh, Americans, it's not the race. You can't even turn left. You can only turn one direction.
You can only turn left.
You
cannot turn right.
So they make fun of us and kind of stuff like that. They think a bunch of hillbillies in NASCAR kind of doing their racing.
Well, I can see where they got that from because it derived.
Well, that's where its roots came from. Was
it derived from Prohibition.
Yeah, Prohibition. Doing the whole White Lightning run stuff. Anyways,
White Lightning.
So, really haven't seen anything with the Americans really getting into the Le Mans stuff, except for Team Cadillac until since Ford versus Ferrari kind of days.
Where that Ford pretty much went in and said, okay, we can do this.
Well, that's because Ferrari insulted the owner of Ford when he tried to buy them, and he's like, oh, yeah, well, watch this.
And that's when we brought in Shelby.
Yeah, brought in Carroll Shelby. And they
made a movie about that,
Yeah, they did they did the Ford GT, and it just
What was the name of that movie?
Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, I should have figured that out. Okay.
Yeah. So anyways.
Had a Born Identity guy, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And Batman, Christian
Damon.
Bale.
Yeah, and Christian Bale. I'm Batman. Like those guys.
Yeah. Somebody else that couldn't turn their head left or right for a while.
Yeah, well, because, the mask. But anyways, I digress. So what happens is now we've seen NASCAR decide to jump into it as NASCAR, not as a
not as a Le Mans.
Yeah.
No, my God.
Yeah, so they actually sit, and if you
the
walk,
car's
if you look
like
at the
3
photo,
times the
if you look at the car,
size.
you look at the photo of the lineup, it's beautiful. Here's all these fancy prototypes and Ferraris, and they're all the Le Mans setups where the driver's in the middle of the vehicle between the wheels. And then there's this great big stock car that's bigger than the rest of all the cars out there. Doesn't sound anything like the rest of the cars.
Well, no, I'm sure.
Because they're all out there like, yeah, and this thing is coming through like it's got glass packs and cherry bombs on it. All I needed was some like Skynyrd or something playing in the background that came through, but it was in my head.
Naturally.
Yeah. So anyway, so they introduce a Camaro stock car into Le Mans, and of course, everybody in Europe is like making fun of this thing, saying, "Oh, it's dumb, blah blah blah. You don't know how to turn right. You guys don't know what to do." And then it goes out for the qualifying laps. And
okay, you have a look on your face. What happened during the qualifying lap?
It was 4 seconds faster than every other vehicle.
Oh dear God! And the
it's
thing
bigger, it's heavier, it's louder.
The thing is, though, is that 4 seconds and something like that, that's like Usain Bolt in the Olympics finishing 4 seconds ahead of the second place person.
Yeah.
That's massive.
It's crazy. It's crazy when you're talking about this type of speed. So now they did. Now they obviously they got moved in the back for having that 4 second qualifying time.
Well, yeah.
We're gonna move you back. You got an unfair advantage. Your car's so fast. But they weren't in there for points. They were in the concept class, so they weren't racing for points.
Gotcha.
So ultimately they ended up.
I wonder if they moved them into the concept after the 4 second.
Yeah. So everybody expected them to end at the end of it, or basically not even continue, because Le Mans is a 24-hour race. It's an endurance race at speed.
Yeah.
And they were 36.
Aren't you allowed 2 drivers in Le Mans?
You are. And they finished 36 or 39th out of 62.
Is it 2 drivers or 3 drivers?
It's more than one. That's really I don't pay attention too much. But it had no problem making those right turns. I watched the videos of it, and you know what? I bet some of those Le Mans drivers were freaking out when they saw this Camaro coming up on the left of them and then passing on the right, going into a turn.
The thing is about the stock car racing is that now it can be a top. So this one was a Camaro, so it can be a top of the line Camaro.
Yeah,
and even though they go in and they replace every part, it can't go beyond a certain percentage beyond the actual.
Well, Le
stock
Mans
car.
can.
No,
so,
I'm about the stock cars.
In stock cars you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we got a guitar now.
We got a guitar now.
But they would have won if they'd had Ricky Bobby at the wheel.
Well, he would have sat there and be like, you know what you need? A little bit of shake.
A little bit of bake.
Shake and bake, baby.
I mean, he wakes up and he pisses excellence every morning.
Hey, you know what? Especially since we've got Eddie Van Halen over here behind us with Vinnie Paul on drums.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's skip.
All right, let's just get down to the end of it. So, where in the world is Kamala Harris? Well, it's a good thing we asked where she's at. So she is in D.C. Weird. She's usually not there.
Well, she's definitely not at the border.
No.
Still.
Well, I mean, it's the border of other states. The whole city is.
The whole city is yeah.
So they're down there, and her and Biden are at the White House celebrating the DACA Dreamers because they know it's probably going to go away.
Well, yeah,
the DACA protections are probably going to go away. So DACA is what keeps some young people who were born from illegal immigrants in the United States. It keeps them here in the United States and keeps them from getting deported. So it's the Dreamer Act, and it's probably going to expire at some point.
Yeah,
I don't see it making,
and it should. But that being said. It was really kind of funny because, and I forgot which newspaper it was, but I looked it up, and it is a heavily left influenced newspaper.
Well, yeah,
and
they 90% are.
They even came out with an article that was an entire page long, asking if Kamala Harris was a threat to maintaining a Democrat in the White House. An entire page.
Well, the entire administration is the threat to holding the White House. I mean, it's. I got a guy who I think what's her name? Pierre. What is that? Her name? The Psaki replacement. I know she's been there for a while.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, I always get it wrong.
Jean-Luc Pierre, or whatever her name is.
Captain Picard.
That can't answer a question.
Yeah. Well, she said something the other day about, or might have been a couple weeks ago. Heck, I don't remember. But I watched a video on it. It was pretty funny. She said that Biden is the best communicator that the White House has ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can't complete a full sentence.
Which means that he's communicating because it's like those 3 little dots in the middle of a sentence or that he says something ... and then he walks off. He just hasn't come back to finish it yet.
Well, part of the problem, if he wants to make a complete sentence, is he's got to stop getting lost on his way to the podium when he walks out on the stage.
Or tripping.
How many times does he walk past the podium 2 or 3 times, stand there and look for direction?
I love the fact that, he trips again, and there's a sandbag there.
Whoa.
Well, then whenever he tripped the time right after that, it was on the floor. It was on carpet. And everybody just kind of looked at him.
Well, the problem is it's those racist Republican sandbags that are just jumping out of the bushes.
Sponsored by Corn Pop.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, timer just went off. Just went off.
It's dang sandbags. I hate it.
All right, so what do you think about this?
So if you're looking for a good local beer, this is a good local beer. If you're looking for a good German lager locally, this is not it. And I don't do that to be mean to OHB. You've got a fine beer here.
It's just not a German lager.
You shouldn't label it. Call it Gold Mustache. That's awesome. The can is awesome. The name is awesome.
Even if you labeled it a German IPA, because it does have the maltiness of a
But a lager?
It is not a lager.
It is not a lager.
It does have the maltiness and you can taste it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good beer.
Yeah.
I would drink this.
Yeah. Call it German influenced or something.
Or even if you just call it a German IPA.
Yeah.
Germanic IPA, Germania IPA, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not a lager.
Lager it is not.
Yeah.
So, speaking of beer, one last thing we'll go because our favorite drummer just kicked back in is Bud Light did lose its reign on the top beer.
Oh, it did. What took it over?
Modelo is from what I'm looking as. Modelo took it over. So for the first time in American history,
Really?
a foreign beer is now the top selling beer.
Really?
Yeah. So anyways, thought I'd bring that up just in the talking about beers here.
Oh.
Beers, I say.
Beers.
It's a word. Look it up.
But anyway, I mean, it's just kind of funny that it happened to be.
Did you steal my second beer?
No. You don't know me. you don't know me at all. But and also a quick follow up: the House overrode the ATF on the pistol braces.
Yeah, so it's got to go to the Senate.
It's got to go to Senate.
Biden already said he's going to veto it, though.
Yeah, but throwing it in there just as a quick follow-up before Alex Van Halen and Eddie Van Halen back here behind us get any louder. So anyway, like I said, I like the beer.
Yeah, it's good beer.
It's just not a German lager. Not a German lager.
Yeah.
So
sorry, guys. It's just not.
Is it worthy of a mustache ride?
Yeah. I think so. I think so.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to jump on board anytime soon, but.
Then what are we going to do after the show?
Cuddle?
Thanks for tuning in. You've been listening to Whiskey and Wine with Rooster and the Madman. And remember, in a world full of chickens, be a rooster. You're listening to Whiskey and Wine. Thanks for tuning in to Whiskey and Wine with the Rooster and the Madman. We can catch brand new episodes every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Deep Dallas Radio on Locked and Loaded with DJ Shane Dust.
Special thanks to our sponsor, GiftedChicken.com, home to all your beard, bath, and body care needs. Veteran owner-operator right here in North Texas. Remember to pick up a bottle of Overlord Dungeon Oil. It's 100% all natural coconut oil.
Leaves you prickly on the insides.